The last signal. In the dying glow of a rain-lashed autumn evening, Elena Voss pulled her beat-up hatchback onto the gravel drive of her late grandmother's isolated cabin. The place had been empty for 3 years, but the will was clear. She had to live there for one full month before she could sell it. 1 month in the middle of nowhere. No cell service. No neighbors. Just her, the pines, and the ancient shortwave radio her grandmother had refused to part with. Elena hated silence, so the first night she flipped the radio on for company. Static hissed like a living thing. Then at exactly 3:13 a.m., a clear voice cut through. "Elena, don't open the basement door." She laughed nervously. Some late-night prankster. She turned the dial. The voice followed. "Elena, it's me. From tomorrow night. You have to listen. Whatever you do, do not go into the basement." The voice sounded exactly like hers. Hoarse, terrified, cracking with the same slight Midwestern drawl. She yanked the plug from the wall. The voice kept going, tinny and small from the unpowered speaker. "Please, it already has your smell." She slept with every light blazing and a kitchen knife under her pillow. The next morning the radio was silent. She told herself it was a dream, explored the cabin, and found the basement door, old, heavy, padlocked. The key hung on a nail beside it, glinting like an invitation. She left it untouched. That night the radio clicked on by itself at 3:13 a.m. This time the voice was crying. "You didn't listen. You opened it. I can see you right now, standing at the top of the stairs with the flashlight. Close the door, Elena. Close it." She was nowhere near the basement. She was on the couch, heart hammering so hard she felt it in her teeth. Yet when she looked down the hallway, her own flashlight beam was trembling on the basement door. She hadn't moved. She hadn't turned it on. The beam was coming from the other end of the hall, as if she were already standing there. The voice on the radio screamed, "It's wearing your face!" The flashlight beam snapped off. Footsteps, her footsteps, started up the basement stairs, slow and wet. Elena ran for the front door, but the knob wouldn't turn. The windows were painted shut from the outside. She'd noticed that earlier and thought it strange. Now she understood. The radio voice had gone quiet. In its place came a new sound, or her own breathing, recorded, coming from behind her. She turned. The basement door stood open. From the pitch-black rectangle, something wearing her pajamas stepped into the light. Its skin was wrong, too smooth, like stretched plastic. Its eyes were hers, but the pupils had been replaced by tiny, perfect radio dials slowly turning. It smiled with her mouth. "You kept the signal alive," it whispered in her voice. "Grandma lasted 3 weeks. You only made it 2 nights." Elena lunged for the radio, desperate to smash it, but the creature was faster. Cold fingers, her fingers, closed around her wrist. The last thing she heard before the lights died was her own voice. Calm now, coming from both the thing in front of her and the radio at her back, speaking in perfect unison. "Next caller, please state your name and the date you're calling from." Outside, the pines whispered in the wind. Inside, the shortwave radio clicked to a new frequency, waiting for the next lonely listener to turn it on. And somewhere in the dark, Elena's voice, now perfectly calm, began to speak again. "Whatever you do, don't open the basement door.